Let's start the demo class on MCSE for Windows Server Administration. So Microsoft Certified Solutions Engineer. Now coming to operating systems, in how those desktop OS, those client operating systems. What is client? What is server? So we have two types of operating systems in Windows. So one is server OS, one is client OS. What are the server operating systems? Generally, we are all know Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows XP. These are the client operating systems. So what are the server operating systems? Latest version is 2019, 2016, 12, 2008. In earlier way also we are having the versions 2003, Windows 2000 server, NT 4.0. This is the first version from Windows as a server operating system, NT 4.0. So like this, we have client OS, server OS. So what is server, what is client? So server provide resources to clients. Clients access the resources from server. So you are going to internet, you are downloading the files, you are downloading the movies, you are downloading the documents. From where you are downloading means from server we are downloading. So server provide resources to clients. Clients access the resources from server. So like that in production environment, in real-time scenarios, the companies, they are going to use Windows servers. So why the companies, they are using Windows servers? What is the backbone of Windows servers? So in Windows, there is a powerful concept is there, that is Active Directory Domain Services. It means centralization of administration. So nowadays, all are centralization of administration, banking sector, insurance sectors, railway reservations, bus reservation, whatever it may be, centralized. Centralized means, for example, you can take the example of banking sectors. For example, I have a bank account on ICICI Hyderabad branch. If I go to Mumbai or Chennai, so there is a ICICI branches are there. So I can go to any ICICI branch, I can deposit the money into my account. And also I can withdraw the money from any ATM counter. So this is centralized. See, in earlier days, we don't have this much of facility where your account is there. We have to go to that branch only. We have to deposit the money and also go to your particular branch. You have to write down your withdraw form. You have to withdraw the money. But nowadays, centralized. So wherever your account is there, you can go for any branch of your particular bank. You can deposit the money. Go to any ATM counter, not only your bank ATM counter, any ATM counter, you can go and withdraw the money. How it is possible means because of centralization of administration. So in this centralization of administration, we can have the main domain controller which can manage all the systems in the network. So domain controller means Active Directory domain controller who can control your complete network in the company. So that is the main domain controller. For example, I am taking India.com, Tata.com, Idea.com. Like we can have different corporate offices. They can ICICI Bank.com like that. So I am taking the example of India.com. This is the main domain controller which can manage all the servers in the network. So we can have number of states in India. So like ap.india.com, telangana.india.com, orissa.india.com, maharashtra.india.com. Like we can have number of states in the India. So main controller is india.com. So these are child domain controllers, like parent-child relationship. Like again in AP or Telangana, we can have number of districts. So again, the domain controller, grandchild domain controller will come. hyd.telangana.india.com means hyderabad.telangana.india.com. So again in Hyderabad, you can have number of areas. Amirpet.hyderabad.telangana.india.com. So So this is the main domain controller. This is the child domain controller. This is the grandchild domain controller. This is the grandchild domain controller. Like this, the tree structure of domains supported by Windows Server operating system. That is the reason for managing the centralization of administration and forest level domains. So what is forest? So forest is nothing but a collection of trees. So collection of domains you can manage in Windows Server. Active Directory domain services you can configure. You can manage the Windows servers like a collection of domains, collection of trees. Forest is nothing but a collection of trees, collection of domains you can manage. And also we can have domains and trusts. For example, there is a company like Tech Mahindra, they taken over by the Sachin Computer. Sachin.com is a different domain, Tech Mahindra is a different domain. But we are going to put the trusted relationship between the domains. For example, I will tell you in our understanding purpose, I have the Gmail account, you have the Yahoo account. So Gmail domain is different, Yahoo domain is different. So my account name is some abc.@gmail.com. Your account xyz.yahoo.com. As a Gmail account holder, I can able to send mail to you. As a account of Yahoo, you can able to send a mail to. These two are different domains. Gmail is different, Yahoo is different, Hotmail is different, Rediff is different. But we are able to sending mails to each other. How it is possible? Because of trusted relationship between the domains. As a Gmail account holder, I can able to send a mail to Yahoo, Rediff, Hotmail. As a Yahoo account holder, you can able to send a mail to me, Gmail, Hotmail, whatever it may be. So this is because of trusted relationship between domains. So this trusted relationship between domains we are going to learn in the Windows Server administration. So this is the purpose, the centralization of administration. So domain environment purpose. So tree level domain structure, forest level domain structures, and the trusted relation between the domains, and the different Microsoft products which are going to use on server environment like Microsoft Azure, Microsoft SQL servers, .NET, whatever it may be, whatever the Microsoft products we are going to Microsoft SharePoint. So whatever the application servers, database servers related to Microsoft. So we are going to use the Windows Server administration. So Windows servers we are going to use. So that is the reason we are going to learn the Windows Server administration. Nowadays Azure also. So that is a cloud computing after Amazon Web Services. It is growing very fast. So for learning AWS, you must have the strong knowledge on the Windows Server administration. So now we are going to look about what are the topics we are going to discuss in Windows Server administration. Now, see, we are going to see MCSC. So these are the topics we are going to see. We have different versions are there, but we are going to learn 2012 is the standard version. So there is a slight differences between 2016 and 19 we are going to discuss in our classes. Now, before going to learn Windows Server administration, first of all, we have to install the Windows Server. So by default, when you install a Windows Server operating system, that is not become a server OS. That is a server OS, but the server roles cannot be used by default. By default, your Windows Server, when you install, it is a workgroup system. So what is workgroup means? In workgroup, every system lives as a client, every system lives as a server. So there is no specific server to control all the systems. There is no specific resource to control all the systems. So every system can act as a server, every system can act as a client. So nobody can control of other systems. So here simply you can see all computers are peers. No computer has control over another computer. Just now I discussed. So no computer is a server, no computer is a client. Every system acts as a server client, but they cannot control over the other computers. So each computer has a set of user accounts. To log on to any computer in work group, you must have an account on that group. For example, I have 10 computers. The first computer I created a user account Ali. So Ali, today he logged in, he done some work on the system. Again, he came next day to the company, but somebody is working on the system. But Ali wants to work, but he can go for next system. He can log. We have to create one account on the next system. He has to log into that system. He can work. But every time his account is going to be changed. So 10 computers, I can create 10 Ali user accounts. But that is not fair in centralization of administration. So that is work group environment. There are typically no more than 20 computers. So you can manage only 20 computers in the work group environment. A work group is not protected by a password. All computers must be on the same local network or subnet. So this is work group. Generally, if it is a small company, 10 systems, 15 systems, you can go for the work group environment. But if you go for production environment, if your company is a large computers, large networks, you can go for the domain environment. So what is domain? So domain, one or more computers or servers. Network administrator use servers to control the security and permissions for all computers on the domain. This makes it easy to make changes because the changes are automatically made to all computers. So whatever the changes you want to do, you can do on one computer, it will apply on all computers. So domain users must provide a password or other credentials each time they access the domain. So as a domain user, you can go for any computer in the network. Maybe if you have 100 computers, go to any computer, you can log into your server directly. Your work centralized located on server side. So every time no need to uh, get your where your files are stored. So once you log into your computer, the files will be coming to your local system. So domain users must provide password or other credentials. Already we discussed this. If you have a user account on the domain, you can log on to any computer on the domain without needing an account on that computer. Just now I discussed. For group environment, you can create the number of accounts. 10 computers, 10 Ali accounts, 10 Siva accounts. But domain environment, you can create only one user on domain. You can log in from any computer to the domain without needing an account on the local computer. So local system, no need to, I am going to create account. I can create the account on domain server. So you can go for any client within the domain, you can log into the server. There can be thousands of computers in a domain. So thousands of computers. Go for any computer, log into your domain environment. The computers can be on different local area networks also. We can going to configure sites and services. This subnet can communicate this subnet. So everybody, they can connect to the servers from different local area networks also. So what is Windows domain? We are going to discuss in our classes. Windows domain is a form of computer network in which all user accounts, computers, printers, and other security principles are registered with a central database called as Active Directory Services. Just now I discussed Active Directory domain services can manage the information of users, printers, computers, networks, everything on a central database. So this is the work group and domain environment. We are going to discuss in our classes in depth about these things. Then what is Active Directory domain services? What is the purpose of Active Directory? What is domain? What is domain controller? We are going to discuss how the domain user can log on to the computer, which information stores the domain controller, what are the files are stored while configuring the domain controller. Everything we are going to discuss in our classes practically. Next to organizational units. So a logical container which contain Active Directory objects, users, groups, OU and other objects. For example, we can have a number of departments in our company: sales department, purchases, network department, quality department, different kinds of departments we have. But so if you want to use the without knowing the department names, if you create user accounts, you will confuse. So what I can do, I can create one organizational unit. It means it is a logical container which contains Active Directory objects. So all the sales department, I can create one sales OU, sales users, sales groups, and other objects I can create under sales organization unit, like managers. Like that, you can create different types of organizational units. So what is delegation of control? We are going to discuss as a as a Windows administrator. You can assign your privileges to some normal users. That is nothing but a delegation control. But if you join as a Windows administrator in a company, by default, they are not going to provide directly administrator password. So they can create one user account by using your name, they can assign some administration privileges, like managing the Active Directory domain users, managing the organization units, so managing the additional domain controllers, managing the group policies. Like we have different types of tasks in Windows Server. So they will assign that task to you by using delegation control. So these things practically we are going to discuss. Next, already we discussed the structure of domain controller, main domain controller, child domain controllers, additional domain controllers, backup domain controllers, like this. So additional domain controllers we are going to discuss. If main domain controller is down, what happens? So automatically the additional domain controller, it is nothing but a backup domain controller. It can provide the resources to the network. So what is tree? What is forest? So we are going to discuss in our classes. So Tata.com is the main domain, forest level domain. So it is the tree domain in the forest. So tree forest domain, tree root domain. So like this, Tata.com is the main domain controller. So Motorstar, Tata have so many business. Motorstar, Tata.com. So child spares.motorstar.tata.com. Like that we can have different types of domain structures we are going to discuss in this class. Additional domain controllers, and what is forest, what is tree, everything. Next to, so roles of Active Directory. This is a very important task in real-time environments. So we have a main domain controller. Maybe the domain controller is not active properly. So I can change the domain controller from US location to India location. So the main domain controller I configured in US. So additional domain controller I configured in India. But now I want to make it India server as a main domain controller, US server as a additional domain controller. How to make it main domain controller of India, which is ADC. So you can have the flexible single master operational roles. So naming master, schema master, read master, PDC emulator. So these FSMO roles you have to transfer from the main domain controller to additional domain controller. Both are active stage, so you can transfer. But main domain controller is collapsed. How to change the resources? So both are active. I can transfer the roles from main domain controller to additional domain controller. But main domain controller is shut down. So it is crashed. So how to make it additional domain controller as a master domain controller? So transferring the roles, seizing the roles. How to transfer roles? How to seize the roles? We are going to discuss in this class. So in interview point of view, they will ask compulsory question. What are the FSMO roles? Naming master, what is naming master? Schema master, what is schema master? What is read master? What is PD simulator? We are going to discuss in our classes in depth about these FSMO roles. Next, this is very important tasks in Windows Server administration, group policy management. So how to manage your clients? So I want to make it on desktop, hide computer icon, hide run menu, hide taskbar, so hide recycle bin. So I want to restrict the clients, desktop operating systems. As a Windows Server administrator, I want to restrict some systems, some features. Then I can go for the group policies. So here I can restrict hide computer icon on every desktop. So your computer icon will not display on the desktop. So I want to hide network icon. I want to hide recycle bin. Like that you can do by configuring group policies in Windows Server environment. So here we can set the group policies on site level. You can set the group policy on domain level. You can set the group policy on OU level. So where you want to set domain level means it will apply for all the domain computers. OU level means already we discussed. OU is a small part of one organization unit. So sales OU or purchases OU, whatever it may be. So you can also apply on different levels of scopes of group policies. So we are going to see practically all these configurations. Next, software deployment. So it is to deploy a software on all the computers in a domain from one central location by applying the group policies. For example, so I have a Windows server. I want to install 100 MS Offices on clients at a time within half an hour or 20 minutes. So I cannot go for each and every computer. I cannot store MS Office software. I cannot install. What I have to do? I can configure software deployment services on Windows Server. I can make it MS Office. While the users log into their computers, automatically install MS Office. So automatically it will install like Active Directory, like Oracle database, whatever it may, whatever the software you want to install automatically on the clients. So you can configure software deployment service. All 100 clients at a time, MS Office will install. Windows antivirus software will install, and Windows related softwares, whatever it may be, you can make it provide in software deployment automatically will install. No need to go for any client, no need to install individually. Next, folder redirection auditing policy. So redirection of folders on the local computer or on shared folder. Folders are server appear as if they are located on the local drive. It fastens the user login process in case of the profile is large. So what I can do, I can create one folder on server side. So I can redirect. So whenever you log into your server client side, automatically your folder will come onto your client. So whatever the work you are doing, it will store on the particular folder what I redirected. Whatever the work you are doing, it stores on the folder which I created to you. Automatically your database stores on the server side. So when you log on to any computer, automatically it will bind to your local computer. So auditing policy. So auditing policy, it is a very important task what you are doing. So when you created user account, when the user logged on, whatever the rights you assign to user, so whatever the objects in ADS you watched, you used, everything I can write audit policy. And what you are doing, I can check in audit policy. So this user log into this system, he deleted this file, he created this directory, everything I can watch. So this is the audit policy. How to configure and manage auditing policies we are going to discuss in our classes. Next, just now in demo class, I discussed trusted relationship between the domains. So here we can have parent-child domains, trust, tree domain, different domains we can trust. So everything we are going to discuss, forest to forest trust, and domain control to child domain control, automatically the trust will create. So trust categories, transitive trust, non-transitive trust, trust directions, one-way incoming trust, one-way outgoing trust, two-way trust. So both sides, incoming trust, only trust coming to me, outgoing trust, only trust going to outside, two-way, incoming and outgoing trust. So what different types of trusted relationships we are going to configure, we are going to discuss in our classes. And also we can have different trust types, default trust, shortcut, external, forest, realm, like we are going to discuss. Realm means, so Windows to Linux servers trusted relationship also we can put. So that is called realm trust. So like this, we are going to discuss about different types of trusts, how to configure the trusted relationship between the domains. Practically, we are going to see. So entry question, what is the global catalog server? The global catalog contains complete information of host domain and partial information of other domains in your forest. By searching against the global catalog, individual domain do not have to be querying. In most cases, global catalog can resolve. So physical structure of Active Directory and logical structure of Active Directory and read-only domain controllers. Why we are going to use read-only domain controller? In which scenarios we are going to use read-only domain controllers? So we are going to see practically. So functionality of RODS. RODS means read-only domain controllers. So unidirectional replication, credential cachings, everything. Practically, we are going to see all these things. Administration role separation. So configuration of sites, how to we are going to configure sites, everything we are going to discuss practically. This is only demo class session. Just briefly, I am explaining each and every topic which we are going to discuss in Windows Server administration. Next, how to configure the DHCP server on Windows Server. What are the types of addresses? What is the static IP address? What is dynamic IP addresses? What is DHCP? What is DHCP authorization and scopes? How to authorize the DHCP server in Windows? What are the scopes you are going to create in the Windows servers? What is the DHCP reservations we are going to give? So what are the DHCP options we are going to configure on Windows servers? What is the DHCP failure? So I configured one DHCP server, it is failed. What happens? All the clients cannot get the DHCP IP address. Everything will down. So I want to make it DHCP failure DHCP server. Once one DHCP server failed, automatically the backup DHCP server will come into the picture. they can assign the IP addresses automatically. So these things practically we are going to see each and everything. So DNS, maybe somebody knows domain name service, it resolves the names to addresses and addresses to names. So you cannot remember the names. So you cannot remember the systems with IP addresses. You cannot remember the websites with IP addresses. You can remember with names. Yahoo.com, Google.com, Reddit.com, like that. So like that, we are going to configure DNS server in the network. The DNS server resolves names to addresses and addresses to names. So what is DNS? What is fully qualified domain name? What is zone? What is forward lookup zone? What is reverse lookup zone? What are the types of DNS records? All these are interview questions. So what is SOA record, NS record, host record, alias record, point record, MX record? So everything we are going to see theoretically we are going to explain, and practically we are going to see how to configure the DNS server on the Windows administration. Next, configuration of websites in Windows IIS, Internet Information Service, which is used to host the information over the internet. It provides integrated, reliable, scalable, and manageable web server capabilities over intranet and internet versions of IIS. So NT 4.0, 2000 server, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016. Features of IIS. So how to set up your default website in your Windows administration. What is the virtual directory? How to configure single IP multiple websites. How to redirect your website. For example, www.gmail.com is my website. For example, you bought my Gmail domain. So your domain is www.xyz. When I type www.gmail.com, it will redirect to xyz.com. How to make it? We are going to discuss in these classes. Next to FTP server, how to configure FTP on Windows Server administration. FTP is a file server to download the files, upload the files. So how to configure FTP server, how to use FTP server on Windows, we are going to discuss. And WDS, Windows Deployment Services, you can install a number of Windows operating systems through network. For example, my company bought 50 new systems. I want to install Windows 10 on all the systems. So I cannot go for each and every system. I cannot install individually. It will take more time, and maybe the systems are located in different areas. So what I can do, I can configure one Windows deployment server in my network environment. So I can make it the dump of Windows 10 software. Automatically from client side, they can log into they can boot from the network, and they can install the clients automatically. It will not ask you any answer. Every answer we are going to create boot images, install images, we are going to create on our local system. Automatically they will connect and they will install the operating system. So these things practically we are going to see. Next, remote desktop. How to enable remote desktop on Windows Server. Go to client side. How to log into your Windows Server through remote desktop. We are going to discuss here. Windows RDS, remote desktop service. We are going to discuss. Just this is a simple task. Just enable the remote desktop services. Go to client side, log into your Windows Server through desktop. Like storage configurations, RAID configurations, how to take the backup of Windows Server, and routing and remote uh, configuration. This is also important task. So you can configure Windows Server as a router. So from public network to private network, how to communicate. So we are going to do what is router, what is routing, what is default gateway, what are the types of routing, static, dynamic, types of router, software router, hardware router, routing and remote access service, RAS we are going to configure, NATing, how to configure network address translation. So like this we are going to discuss about the complete. So we need 4 systems here. System 1, private network. System 2, configure as a router. System 3, public network. So one system we can configure as a web server. One system we can configure as a router. So these things practically each and everything we are going to discuss in depth in our classes. So this is entire Windows Server administration we are going to discuss. So this is entire total 1 month course. So before going to learn this course, just we can just touch up with hardware. What is hardware? What is networking? What is motherboard? What is processor? What are the network protocols we have? Different types of networks. What is LAN? What is WAN? What is MAN? like we are going to discuss some basic concept before going to learn the administration part of Windows. Then the Windows administration will start. So the total course duration is 1 month. So today we are going to complete, this is the demo session we completed. If anybody wants to register, you can register the Windows Server Administration course. The complete material, whatever the configurations, everything I will provide you. So entry point of questions and answers also I am going to provide you. And also resumes, experienced and fresher resumes also we are going to provide. So each and every configuration, step by step, we have in the documents. We are going to share the documents to you, and how to set up and how to manage your Windows server on. So this is VMware Workstation. So I installed Windows servers here. See, I am having Linux server. Most of the Linux administration classes I'm going to take, and also Windows servers. So how to install Windows server, how to communicate Windows server, everything we are going to set up on VMware Workstation or Oracle VMbox or Microsoft Virtual PC, which are the virtualization softwares in today's technology you can have. No need to disturb your host OS. Just install virtualization software. You can set up as many as servers what you require. If you want to use Linux servers, you can install. If you want to use Windows servers, you can install. You can all these systems are in the same network. You can communicate with networking tools. You can access anything. In our classes, we are going to discuss everything in depth. Okay, thank you. So tomorrow onwards, we are going to start the basic network configurations and basic hardware configuration. 3 to 2 days or 3 to 4 days we are going to discuss about them. Then we are going to discuss about Windows Server Administration. So before going to Windows Server Administration, first we have to see work group environment, local users, local groups, local security policy, local group policies. Uh, then we can configure the Windows Server as a domain controllers. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Tomorrow we are going to start our next class.